Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all safe and healthy. And today I'm back at the one of one dealership where I made videos previously on the Mercedes S-Class and also the Cadillac Escalade. And today I'm here to take a look at the 2021 GLA. And before we go ahead and take a look at the car, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you who have subscribed to the channel and helped me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. And those of you who are watching my videos for the first time, I just wanted to say do consider subscribing to the channel. My next goal is to reach 1,500 subscribers. So thank you in advance. And let's not waste any more time and take a look at the car. Okay, so here is the Mercedes GLA. This is the 2021 model, and first things first, let's take a look at the price. So the price of this GLA, this is the GLA 200. So over here, because this has a lot of options and this is also with the premium package, so the price is 245,000 riyals. This is Saudi riyals, and I will put a link, I'll put the conversion for US dollars and also Indian rupees down below, so that you have an idea of how the price is compared in your markets also. Usually the price here in Saudi Arabia is a bit higher compared to a similarly specified model in the US due to different import taxes and all that stuff. So now let's talk about the design. So compared to the previous generation of the GLA, the new GLA looks a lot like an SUV now, or crossover, because the previous GLA, I thought it looked like an hatchback on a race suspension, because it was very similar looking to the A-Class, which this car is also based on. So there are a bit similarities compared to an A-Class at the back, but in the front it looks a bit different to the A-Class. And one change they have done is on the headlights. So you can see the DRLs are up. This is the LED headlights, the standard which you get. So you have a DRL up top and also at the bottom. I like the way they have split the LED DRLs. It looks really good. Then you have your standard headlamp, and then you have your high beams here. And this is the key. It's a standard key. You have your lock, unlock, and this is for opening the tailgate. And when I press unlock, okay, there you can see now how the indicator works. And let me unlock it again. So there you can see. You also get a different multi-beam LED. So that replaces this unit with another projector, and that obviously has a bit more range. And you can see this is called LED high performance, and you have a small Mercedes badge here. Then in the front bumper, you don't have a lot of changes when you go through the different models. Here in Saudi Arabia, most of the GLA 200s come with the AMG line package. So they have this sporty bumper and this grille design. Unless you go for the extremely base model of the GLA 200, you get a different bumper. That's called the sport model. And this is the AMG line, which comes as standard on all the above trim levels except the very base one. So up top you have a small sensor, you have your large Mercedes logo, and you have your small hexagon silver dots across the the grille, which looks really good and nicely breaks up the design, since this car is in black, and it looks really nice. Then the grille is totally functional, so you can see it's open and the radiator is seen at the back. The front of the bumper, you have some design elements that are fake. So these air intakes are fake, they are just for design purposes, but you have an air curtain on this side. I think you can just see a little bit of where it goes. So that air curtains help to improve the aerodynamic efficiency from the front to the side of the wheels. Then again you have an open air intake on the bottom, and this part over here is in chrome, but if you go for the night package you get this in black. And then I like the way they have integrated this side of the bumper, which comes all the way over here. So it looks nice and clean and much mature design compared to the older GLA. Then let's come to the top of the hood. So the hood line starts from here and it goes nice all around the way, and it looks pretty good because of that. And you have small peaks on the hood which also look good. This car, I don't believe it has the full 360 parking camera assist, otherwise you get a small camera here. Then let's come to the side. So on this model you have these optional 20-inch wheels. These are, I believe, the AMG wheels. Yep, you have your AMG logo here. These are black with a little bit of aluminium trim on the side. So you'll have to be careful where you park this car, because it is easy to curb the wheel. So these ones are 235 in width and 20-inch tires, and the profile is 45. So because of that, I'm not sure if this has the adaptive suspension option, but if you have that option, you will obviously get a better ride quality from that. Otherwise, since this is the AMG package, all you get is a lowered comfort suspension compared to the extremely base model that has just a normal comfort suspension. Then this brake system is standard. You have these are just standard brakes, but you have an optional performance brake or sport brake option, in which you get these ventilated discs, and they are a bit larger discs. And also the calipers, you get them with the Mercedes branding, but these are the standard ones. Those brakes are optional. Then let's come to the side. Now this one on the side, compared to the older GLA, the design looks much more like an SUV compared to an hatchback, because this car is taller than the previous model, and also it's a bit wider, but interestingly it's just a bit shorter from front and back. But what they have done is they have increased the wheelbase, which is the space between the wheels, and because of that you have more room inside, which we'll check out later. Then you have your door handles, which have a bit of a chrome on top. You have your sensor for unlocking the car. Just I can see as I touched it, the door unlocked, and the power folding mirrors open up. Again, this is an option, power folding mirrors, and on the mirror you have your LED indicators on this side. Now if you go for the night package, all of this chrome trim becomes black, but the night package is an optional extra, so that's all if you wanted to know about that. Now the side design, it does not have a lot of body lines, but it's nice and rounded and smooth, because of which it looks really good. And also in the night package, this chrome trim is also blackened, so you have nice plastic cladding over here just to give it that SUV feel. And then again at the back you have the same size wheels, and the rear brakes are a bit smaller than the front. So now let's take a look at the back. So like I said, this model is the GLA 200, so you have that badge. Here in Saudi Arabia we only get the GLA 200, and then after that you have a direct jump to the GLA 35, and that's the AMG model. Then you also have the GLA 45. So at the back you have a bit of a similarity between the the tail lights of the A-Class. Also it looks pretty similar to the GLE, and I think it looks pretty smart. Let me just hit unlock, and you can see how the indicators work here, and that's how the LED signature is on the tail lights. You don't have any other badging, and the GLA 200 models are all front wheel drive, so no all-wheel drive on the GLA 200. If you have the GLA 250, you will get all-wheel drive, but here in Saudi Arabia we don't get that model. Then at the back you have another plastic bumper. Looks good, gives it that tough off-road exterior look, and you have a chrome strip going along. Then since this is the AMG package, you get this diffuser effect. It's not a real diffuser, it's just there for design purposes. And then something I don't like is the fake exhaust. I don't know why they do that. They could just simply hide it, but they have given fake exhaust, and the real exhaust is somewhere under. And also the fact that they have given two of them, so that's that. And also one thing, you have an optional covering for this bumper part. It comes in silver, and it's an optional accessory. If you want, you can option that. This one does not have it, but I think that helps in protecting the paint of your bumper. For if you remove something from the boot space, and from the boot, and it will not damage the paint. So now since we're at the back, we'll take a look at the tailgate. So you can open this via the key or a button inside. So let's just do that. There it goes. So it's an electrical tailgate, and we have 435 liters of space with the back seats up. So not a lot of amount of space, because its competitors, that are the BMW X1 and the Audi Q3, they have more space than this car. They have above 500 liters of space, while this has 435 only. So on this model we have a spare tire cover, which has taken almost all of the space, and you have some stuff from Mercedes. So not a lot of functions inside. All you have is some hooks. You have a light and another hook. You have some underfloor storage, but that's mostly taken up by the tire repair kit. But now since the tire is on top, I cannot open it. But also the rear seats are foldable, so let me just show you how they fold down. So to fold the rear seats, you have this lever over here, or you can say a tab, which you have to pull, which folds down the seat, and because of that you can see it lays flat. And when you fold down the seat, you have 1430 liters of space, so that's pretty okay amount of space. But also this foldable seat option I mean, this foldable seat is an optional extra. You don't get it as standard. So if you know you're going to be carrying a lot of stuff, so that's something you need to keep in mind. So now that's all on the exterior of the GLA. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at the interior. I just wanted to show you the fuel economy this car gives. Since this is only a 1.3 liter engine, this gives one of the best fuel economy among this style of car, which is MCUV or crossover, and it's only front wheel drive. So you get 18.4 kilometer per liter, which according to this chart is excellent plus. So that's something you need to know. So before I think we talk about the interior, let's take a look at the engine bay. Okay, so here is the engine bay of the GLA. So the engine bay is nothing special. You have your engine and all this stuff. Since this is the base GLA 200, what you get with in terms of engine is a small 1.3 liter turbo, and it gives you 163 horsepower with 250 newton meters of torque, and the engine is attached to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. So not a lot of power. If you want more power, if it's available in your country, you should go with the GLA 250. That's a 2 liter turbo with 220 or 30 horsepower. And if you want more performance, then you have the AMG models to go for. That's the GLA 35 and the GLA 40. So that's all there is to show in the engine bay. Now we'll take a look at the interior. Okay, so now let's start with the interior. So this one has the leather package, so because of that most of the surfaces are covered in leather. So and this one also has the optional paint scheme or color scheme for the leather, that is black and red. So this one is soft touch leather on top. Then again this whole part is soft touch and it feels really nice to the touch. You have a nice chunky grab handle with aluminium, which looks really nice and classy. And again this trim, as standard you get it with the fake carbon fiber effect, but this one has the optional aluminum effect. And again, yeah, that's an optional package. I just wanted to say that. You have your memory seat controls, and something I like about Mercedes is that they give the seat controls here. So there you have not a lot of adjustment, just you can move the base, the backrest and the height, that's all. Then you have your door handles, which look really nice, and again you can see your ambient lighting which goes all the way from here. Then you have some window controls, and you have your controls for the side mirror, and this one, like I said, has the optional power folding mirrors which fold in and out. And then at the bottom you have some storage spaces. Now this part here feels a bit cheap, but Mercedes had to cut the cost somewhere, so they will do that here. This is not a part which you touch a lot, so we can forgive them for that. Then you have your button for opening the tailgate, and you have a speaker here. You have an option to get a Burmester sound system, which is the more higher end version of these speakers. And then let's take a look at the side. So you have your Mercedes sill plates and aluminium. Then you have your seats. So these are the optional sport seats. So you can see they have a bit of a thicker side bolsters, and also this one, like I said, since it has the leather package, everything is covered in nice soft leather, so it looks pretty good, and the red really pops out nicely and brightens up the cabin nicely. Then you have your latch for your under thigh support if you have a bit long legs like me, or if you don't want that, you can just close them off. So now let's sit inside. But before that, I just wanted to show you the light controls. You have your electronic parking brake here, you have your light controls here, and then you have your display brightness control here, and I'm not sure about this one. And also one thing I wanted to show you, this one has heated seats, 3-stage heated seats. And if you get the Premium Plus package, you get ventilated seats or cooled seats on this side. But here in Saudi Arabia, we don't get the Premium Plus package. So now let's take a seat inside and I'll talk about the interior. Okay, so we are here in the interior of the GLA, and at first impressions are really good. It feels really high quality here. So with the AMG package, you get this flat bottom steering wheel. It's a sport steering wheel as Mercedes call it, and it feels really nice, and it is covered in leather with your red stitching. So this is the older style Mercedes steering wheel, and also the design of the infotainment is the older style. Cars like the new S-Class and C-Class have that central touch display. I think maybe in the next generation of the GLA they will adopt that design. So let's take a look at the interior dash quality first. So again, soft touch, so feels pretty good. And again, you have this optional aluminum trim here with your LED lighting that goes all the way. Then again, this part is so nice and soft touch. So general build quality is pretty nice and solid. Even this part feels nice and solid, and central tunnel also feels solid. So that's Mercedes engineering for you. So let's take a look at the displays now. So you get two 10.3 inch displays, and they are quite configurable. I'll just show them to you, but before that I wanted to show you, you have your wiper controls here, and then you have your gear selector here. So this is something I also like what Mercedes does, is because it's very easy for you to control the gear selector. Suppose you're in a tight parking spot and you constantly have to shift from reverse to drive and drive to reverse, so it's easy to do it from here instead of just pulling the gear selector from there. Then let's now talk about the display. So to control this display, you have to use these controls on this side, and to control that you can use this controls over here. So for this you can press home and it shows you all your different parts or things you can go through, like, and this is a touch sensitive button, so you swipe through and you can see you can go through your telephone, navigation, trip computer, radio, media, styles, service. But in styles, when you click that, you can change through different styles like sport, which makes it look like this. It also changes the theme over on this side. Then you can go to classic, which looks like this. Then okay, so if you swipe up and down, you get a bit of different themes or like displays. You can go full screen, so this moves out the displays a bit and makes them a bit stealthy, so that you have this full thing to you. Suppose if you use the navigation on this display, you can do that for that. Then let's go home and now take a look at the other displays we have. Okay, so you have progressive, sport, and I showed you. Now let's see the understated. So it looks like this, the progressive one. That's my personal favorite. Then you can go up or down for different, you can also control this. You can go through time, so trips, all this stuff is available on this. So on the steering wheel you have a cruise control as standard, so you have your controls here for the cruise. Then this, like I said, these buttons are to control that screen, and you have your different controls like to control the volume and etc, all that stuff from here. Your voice assistant, your favorite button, all that is controlled from this. Rest all, you have some metal gear paddle shifters which feel nice in your hand, and that's all there is to show here. Now let's talk about the central display. So on the central display, what you have is the same MBUX system as the other Mercedes, and you have your phone, navigation, radio, media, comfort settings like the different seat settings, information, and different car settings. If you go in the car settings, you can change your ambient lighting and all the stuff from here with the color and the brightness. Everything will be controlled from this, so you can take a look at that. Then you have your information displays, which if you turn on the engine, I can show you all that stuff. So that's all there is to show on this. You can also change the themes if you want to, and that's that. Then you have your AC vents here. You can lock it in this way, or you can just move them here and they move around, and they look like jet turbines, and they look really good and high quality. And also you have ambient lighting inside. So if you change your for example climate control, and if you make the in temperature warmer, they will become red, and if you make it cooler, it will glow blue sorry for that. Then you have some extra buttons on here, or basically it's your climate control buttons on this side. So you have one hazard button here, you have your settings to control the temperatures, your menu for your climate control, your fan settings, everything else is all here related to the climate controls. Then you have your engine start stop button here, and this is for the auto start and functions for that. Then let's take a look at the central area now. This one, for example, does not have the wireless charging option, but what you have is a 12-volt socket and a USB-C. Most of the ports on this car is now USB-C, and this has a closable compartment, and again this closable lid is actually optional if you wanted to know about that. Then you have your cup holders, and these cup holders are a bit different. So you have this button in the middle which helps to open this up, and suppose if you keep a larger cup, it will close down. But if you want to keep a smaller cup, this will help it keep steady, or if you want to close them up, you can do that. Then you have your touchpad control to control that, and then you have your dynamic selector, that is for your drive modes. So let me just show it to you. So you can go from sport, comfort, eco. So that's all the controls we have here. Then this part is actually an armrest, so that you can control this, and you have your cameras. So let me just show you. So you have your rear sensors, then you have your rear parking camera, and a rear a wider view and a standard view. That's all there is to show here. Then since, like I said, this one does not have the full 360 camera assist, you don't get the full camera assist for that. You don't get a front camera or blind spot assist for that. The blind spot assist is just standard radar sensors, and that's all there is. Then you have shortcut buttons for your map, radio, telephone, favorite button, or vehicle settings. Then you have your volume controls here, and that's all there is to show. One thing I don't like is that this is gloss black, which can easily get a lot of fingerprints. And then you have your armrest, which is again nice and soft touch. You press this button to open them, and again you have your USB-C in that, and it's a nice deep armrest, and it feels cooled also a little bit for some reason. And that's all to show over here. Then let's show you a bit more storage space. That's in the glove box. It's not lined with felt, it's hard plastic. But one thing Mercedes is nice is you have a small tray here. If your passenger wants to keep their phone somewhere, they can keep it here away from prying eyes. Then you have your frameless rear view mirror on this side. You have your light controls here. Then you have your door light controls. Yeah, now they're turning on actually. So there you can see they are LED lights. You can turn them off. Then this is for your rear lights, and this is your control for the panoramic sunroof this car has. It's an optional sunroof. If you want, you can have it. Then you have your visors, which are the standard Mercedes visors. Nothing too exciting about that. That's all there is to show in this, in the front of the interior. Now what I wanted to show you is, just a minute, let me turn off the flash I mean. So I have plenty of headroom. As you can see, in my driving position I am 6'4", and because of that I don't have an issue with the headroom in this car. Especially it's helped with the fact that this has a panoramic sunroof, so my head does not touch the headliner. I have a lot of space between the glass and my head, and generally speaking I am a bit on the larger side in terms of body size, and I fit pretty comfortably in the seats. I don't feel cramped or something like that, and it's pretty nice. So now what we'll do is we'll go to the back seat and see how the back room is. Okay, so let's talk about the back seat now. So at the back seat, the door trims are again in the similar way as the front. So same quality of materials, they have not chipped out here. And again you have that same grab handle, and all the design elements are similar. You have a bit of a smaller storage space on this door side or door pocket, and the door opening is a bit small since this is a small car. But now let's take a seat inside and see how the space is. So I am here in the interior of the back seat of the GLA. Now this is something I expected to happen. So since this is a small car, behind my driving position at 6'4", I am not able to sit comfortably on this side of the car. If I take the seat forward, I'll be a bit comfortable. So now the seat position is at a position of someone more normal size, like 6 foot or something like that, and I can easily fit behind. And I have some space between the back seat, the back of the front seat and my knees, and I can easily sit inside for us, or you can say for a trip. Then what I have is you have some nets on here for your storage spaces. Then one thing is that the seats on the GLA are on stilts. So let me just show you. I'll put a clip or a small video of how they look from the outside. So what they do, they are on heighted instead of being very low. So because of that, you have some space to keep your feet, and you don't feel very cramped because of that. Then on the passenger side, again it's similar. You have your nets. Then in the middle you have your two air vents, which are a baby size version of those in the front. Then you have some storage space here, again with the rubberized mat. And at the at the lowest end you have one USB-C port at the bottom. Then at top you have the sunroof, like I showed you. So this is the back part. It's split into two. It's not a full glass roof, and because of that, again due to the glass roof, again I have a lot of headroom between the glass and my head. Maybe when you close it off, the cloth of that might touch on my head, but generally speaking I am very comfortable at the back when someone my size is not sitting in the front. So people below 6 foot should be easily fine in this car. And like I said, since they have increased the wheelbase, there is more space inside this car. So if I can fit at 6'4", anybody can fit in this car. Then you have this optional armrest, and yes, you heard that right, this armrest is optional. So it's a nice and soft armrest with no cup holders on this side. That means you can easily rest your hand here, and the cup holders are nicely hidden on this side, which if you keep something here, they nicely fold out. So that's nice engineering by Mercedes, and that's all there is to show at the back seats. Okay, so that was the video on the new 2021 Mercedes GLA. Hope you enjoyed it a lot, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and comment down below on how you liked the video. And if you have any other suggestions for me, like which car you want me to make a video, or any other suggestions of how you would like me to make a video, so I will be open to all suggestions. So, and also don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. My next goal is to reach 1500 subscribers, so do help me in reaching that goal. And thanks for watching, guys, and bye bye.